So we did well in the anniversary event, going 4-1 with this list, and I don't really want to make too many changes. We dropped the elixir, and we're putting a Sands of Delirium in there for some fun, crazy tech here. But let me talk about a couple things that I noticed while playing. So, things I noticed while playing. 4-color and Murktide, I like running into those lists now. They are beatable, not all the time. 4-color pushes it a little bit, depends on the flavor of 4-color. But in general, both lists are at least not auto loses, which was starting to feel like the case with Red Prison. In fact, my favorite thing to do is see 4-color and literally just play Karn and downtick for Sundering Titan, knowing 9 times out of 10, when I get to 8 mana, I'm just going to cast this, and my opponent usually does not have a counter spell for it. So getting rid of lands feels really good. Let's see here. March has been fantastic because we can usually pay this, and I'll treat it a little bit like a pseudo time walk for about 1 to 2 turns. There's many cases where the damage that our opponents are putting in on us, it gets basically undone with the March. It's really good. Murderous Rider, literal all-star of the entire deck for the anniversary play-in in. I wouldn't have won without this card. The only matchup I lost to was an Indomitable Creativity Archon list, and I ended up losing the final game because they were able to get 5, maybe 6. It was at least 5 Archons. I had Damnation, I had killed, I had lost 2 Karns, I lost an Ugin, I lost the creature that Ugin made. It was crazy. But Murderous Rider helped, the Damnations helped, Invoke Despairs, all kinds of stuff. I just needed to find the Necromentia, and I just never did. So we've got a lot going on in this list. I like a lot of the things. I think there is occasionally where you'll run into a strictly pure control list, and that's why Russ is suggesting a Thoughtseize here so that you can pull out like all the fatal pushes and go Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes to hopefully find a way to get through. I haven't had any problem with 3 Inquisitions and 3 Thoughtseizes. Maybe I should be, but in those matchups, we're considering Necromentia, and then we name things like Archmage Charm and Counterspell. So we'll just see what's good there. What enchantments is Feed the Swarm for? Most of the time it's for a creature, but you could hit, you know, a certain saga. You can hit other sagas. Blood Moon is literally our friend, so we don't normally hit that. Leyline's not a bad one that you run into. Sanctity, specifically. It can hit Abundant Growth, which is kind of hilarious when your opponent fetches basic and then you smack that. Those are the main things. It hit a Hardened Scales during the playing in, so I've had to hit that. Yeah. And then anything else we're just not really thinking of. Those are the things that Feed the Swarm hits. It's good enough, and it comes in many cases. I fed the Swarm a Yorion, and it was no problem. So it's a creature removal most of the time. Most of the time. List has been doing very well, though. I've been happy with it. It does take a little bit to play, so let's get ourselves going into our constructed lead. Look at all these all play and ins or whatever. We don't need to deal with those anymore. We're good. We can play leagues now. Where's the league? Look at this. It's even called Russ Coffers. I think Russ was just at the vet or something. Hopefully everything's good. Here's our list. All right. Feed the Storm for Omni. Yeah. We did get to play first quite a bit this last time. All right. Actually, ironically, this is probably the worst hand that I've seen today. I probably have to send this one back. A Coffers plus a land is not very good, especially if you don't have map. I have 2 relics and I could get out of this, but I would prefer to have like 2 swamps or something. So I'm going to mulligan this opening hand. This almost got better, but there's again only 1 land. Interesting to be running into land problems here. Well, I sort of like this and get rid of this, the 2 evokes. I know it's still 1 land, but I have a hard time going all the way down here. I have the map and the Maze Mine Tome, so a top deck land does get us way back into this game. But this is not a very good start tonight. Thankfully, this is happening now and not in the play-in in. Hopefully we'll get a land here off the top. And if it's little creatures, we'll feel better here with the Fatal Push. Top deck Coffers. No, Urborg right here. Urborg right here. Or Blast Zone. I would almost play the Maze Mine Tome first. Almost. All right, onward we go. Maze Mine Tome in play, Expedition Map, Fatal Push for the Darcy at some point. We're going to use some scries here with the Maze Mine Tome. We're not looking to necessarily use this as card advantage. We're looking at this to help smooth out our draws this time around. We have to always decide what do we want to be using the Maze Mine Tome for. Sometimes you want it strictly to smooth those draws out, but sometimes you just let it sit there for a turn or two, and once you have nothing to do, you grab the card and off you go. This is a great example of where, like, they'll probably take the Murderous Rider because honestly, both kill this. But maybe not, maybe not. You know, sometimes they do weird things and take Fatal Push because like, oh, he can't cast that, not realizing that I have, you know, almost only black sources. Good choice, opponent, good choice. It's a hard card to get rid of. So I could like wait here on this Maze Mine Tome because the Expedition map theoretically lets me hit the land and then I could play the Fatal Push. So, you know, we could kind of just chill here. I think I'm going to. I need lands, yes, but I also kind of just need to, you know, draw when I can or something like that. I mean, this is easy, like probably Maze Mine Tome draw and slowly catch up in this game. Gaining the 4 life is going to be important, but my opponent's not putting too much pressure on me. So these are the things I'm slowly like discovering as we play the list, and these are the hard things that you try to explain to someone, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I might not even kill this. We might just draw a card, like fetch, draw a card, and see what happens. I kind of like fetch, draw a card, and see what happens here. I'm in no rush to kill the Darcy. No rush whatsoever. If they Inquisition Thoughtseize, like, boom, Monkey. Monkey looks like a great hit here. Let's go ahead and draw first. Actually, I should probably, you know what? Let's Fatal Push first in case they play in Spell Pierce hidden behind the Bloodstain and the Arid Mesa. Then we'll do a good little draw, you know. Not going to scry. We're going to work this back into the game here to get ourselves back into this game. And I mean, what better way to get back into this game than to play a good old Coffers here. We're going to pass. Coffers doesn't make any extra mana yet. If they fetch both of these, I'll go ahead and fire off the March here, but I could wait because Ragavan's a little bit scary. This is going to go get our Urborg now. Patience with this, and my opponent's only done 3 damage. It's tough to say, but I might be ahead at this point. Did I make any edits? I did. I added, I took out Elixir and put a Sands in for the funds. All right, my opponent's fetched both of these. I really wish this would do a little bit more here. I can make it do a little bit more here with the field. Let me field a Blackleaf Cliffs here. This means I'm not drawing, but this will make my Coffers a little bit better going forward, and then we just won't worry about killing this just yet. See what happens. I think this is the most Be Patient deck I've seen you play in a while. I mean, it can be just jam threat, jam threat, jam threat too. It really can. It definitely has that edge to it. All right, we're gonna make a lot of mana next turn and ruin our opponent. Just F6 through this turn. I don't think they know this march is here. A plains? A plains? What is that doing there? Oh, Turok. Oh. Well, I should have been a little more patient than I was. What's up? Thanks for the sub 52 months. Oh my gosh. That's a long time. I think I'm going to still draw here. Yeah, I'm going to draw. That's a long time, Viridian. Like really long. I still don't really say your name correct. I'm confident that I am failing to say your name correctly. Let's go grab an Urborg here. Let's float some good old mana. I think I want to just tag this for the max here. I think I tag, but I could draw. If I draw, I've got to kind of draw like now. We have a lot of mana next turn. Just max it out. This is where our life total goes back to 20. The game's basically restarted here. Opponent's got 3 cards. I've got 0, but I have an active tome. They've got a plains. We'll see. It's a lot of fluffy to be sure. Well, thank you very much for the long time support. 50 plus is I need to update the badges. You've got the founder badge, which is pretty lucrative and stuff. Apparently I can update those so I can, a few people that haven't shown up in, 3 years, I can get rid of them, but I need to update the normal founder stuff, Chandra. Ooh. All right, we're going to draw with this. Chandra's a nice little find here. But no, thank you so much. I know we got some stuff over to you as well, and I don't know if you're in the other country or not still. I never can quite keep up with where you're at. So I do appreciate it, though. Unlicensed Hearst and an Abandoned Mire dropping into the exile zone off Chandra. All right. Well, an Invoke Despair would be nice. This is a pretty nice card, too. Graveyard does matter some. This is 2 to drop the graveyard. This is also 2 to draw. Let's go ahead and draw, not using Cabal Coffers just yet, in case I get that swamp or something. I find myself a Karn. All right. Well, we have 5 mana here. I kind of like the idea of sandbagging the Karn a little bit here. So let's go ahead and play a relic. Let's go ahead and draw with said relic. If I top deck a land, I could theoretically get the Karn down because we haven't played a land here. Oh, snap. Coffers was a very interesting draw. How much mana is that? 7? That's Karn plus Bridge. That's Karn plus Bridge territory. I can probably play Karn plus Bridge here. And if I get another turn here afterwards, I'll be able to keep things in check. I don't want to offer something to have them just discard it. Yeah, we'll just do Bridge. Bridge seems decent, although Chandra could kill us. Chandra could kill us. All right. Actually, Rain, now that you mentioned you love our stuff, we played a lot of Red Prison. Are you here for the Red Prison, or are you just here for the general fluffy fails? That's a Grayus and Zale both tell me things, but they're kind of vested in the mod kind of way. You're a viewer. You're just viewer. Unlicensed Hearst from my opponent. That doesn't do anything yet. I'm here for fluffy fails and successes. Nice. They just let the damage go. All right. 15-14. Darcy in play. Karn sitting here at 3. Dangerous, albeit. Something like a K command or something else would hurt us. Arcanist. Dreadhorde Arcanist after I devoured the graveyard. Interesting. 2 cards, 1 red float. Well, not floating, it's just sitting there, you know, doing its thing. Wow, okay. So I sort of want to do it, but it's probably a dumb idea. I mean, is this just a walking ballista kind of turn? Huge walking ballista. I can probably draw. I almost want to do Karn first. The problem card right now is Chandra. I feel like Red Prison has really been struggling. Feels like it doesn't do well when the raw power level of Modern is high. Yeah, Red Prison needs like a slightly broken card to join its ranks, but that means everybody else will have access to that broken card. I don't know. How much mana are we making here? 6, 10, 11, 12. That's a 6/6 walking ballista and does clear the Chandra if I want to. I feel like I have to clear the Chandra. She's so scary. She's so scary. Nope, nope. We chose no needle. And I'm kind of okay with it here. I'm just gonna kill Chandra. She's the scariest thing out here. I have 2 activations of Maze Mind Tome if my opponent gets through. Remember, I have marches that make really big things. Chandra honestly is the scariest thing out here. This board state and what my opponent appears to be doing, Lingering Souls, is kind of feeling like it's in this list with the white and black. Bridge is just going to hold down the fort. I'm probably going to uptick twice before they get a bolt here, but maybe they'll have Unholy Heat or something. No, I have Sands of Delirium. I have the best tech ever. I almost went and got this, but I was like, nah, this isn't gonna race. Yeah, I could put it down for 3 there, and what, mill for 9 to 10. But that just didn't feel right. See, just Ragavan. Opponent hasn't like targeted his Karn when it was at 3, so they had to top deck the bolt. I mean, we all know what we're doing this turn. We all know what we're doing. We're going to draw a card, see what's going on, move Karn up, and then just, you know, clear the way. Clear the way. Oh, Blast Zone's a great one, too. Get Damnation, opponent. Blast Zone's good because I can then move that to whatever number I need to. I mean, we're at the point where I might just go get the Sands of Delirium and see what happens. I mean, we've got it in the list. Why not? So what if they have a K command? It's about living the dream here. No, they conceded. No Sands, but that was probably what we were going to do. Oh, we were definitely going to go get it. Heck yeah, with extra Maze Mind Tome. Absolutely. All right. Well, we have a graveyard deck. We already have relics mainboarded. We have some creatures, little nasty creatures, so that's why I'm looking at the Feed the Swarms. We did see Chandra, making me think they're a little bit more red-black, like a bigger Planeswalkers. Maybe we'd see Obnixilis or something like that. I don't know if I want the Inquisitions or not. I'm leaning towards probably, but what we have main deck is probably good enough. We probably don't even need the Feed the Swarm. Honestly, the Murderous Rider should do enough. Damnations, Invoke Despairs, and Fatal Pushes plus Marches. This may just be a send it back. Honestly, I almost just want to just do Inquisitions instead of Thoughtseizes here, because I can deal with the Chandra. She's not that scary. Just make it. I kind of like this swap. Like, I like Thoughtseize main deck for game 1, and I like just like if you have nothing else to do, if the biggest spells in their list don't matter, bring in the stuff that doesn't make it hurt. I like this just like clean 3-for-3 swap and just like, yep, we're good with that. That's what we're going to do. So I'm feeling confident here. Remember, we ended up mulliganing down to 1. My opponent had a Darcy that was whatever, and the Maze Mind Tome took us the distance, and we only drew 3 times with it, I think. Didn't even scry with it. I think it's one of the few lists that I feel like most of the time when you draw something, you're like, yeah, I can work with that. And that is a very good feeling. Double Urborg. You know what? I'm gonna really press this Maze Mind Tome. This is the League of Maze Mind Tome here. See how it's going to treat us here. I'm a little worried though they're gonna Thoughtseize or Inquisition the Maze Mind Tome away, having seen its raw power. Opponent is attempting to cast something without even cracking Bloodstained Mire. They're cheating. They are cheating, chat. That's unbelievable. Now, if I do see Monkey or something, I'll probably push that. But if I see a Darcy, it's Inquisition once again. Oh, there you go. You can take this card. This card's a busted card. You can put that down there. We know. Here we go. Put it down here. There you go. I did it for you. I disagree with that take completely. Hey, look. The future is bright for us. We're going to get a lot of use out of that little crystal ball. It's going to be the most used emote by the end of the summer. All right, little Arid Mesa Blood Crypt. Opponent doesn't even need a fetch right now. I'm wondering if I leave Maze Mind Tome up or not. That made that easy. Sorry, Fatal Push up or not. We're going to do this. Keep the Relic. Got the Maze Mind Tome. Let's go ahead and eat a thing and pass a turn. If they go to kill this or at any point, we gobble it up. Gobble it up. A little sad I have an extra Urborg here, but that's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. They're going to play Feel the Ruin Urborg. Then I'll get this. Yeah. Okay. I don't feel like I pop this Relic at all here to draw. I think we just, just take the draw off the top. Black Cleave Cliffs. Moving just slowly along here. No. I watched the league earlier today with a similar list. Deck seems super sweet. It's been great. Season Pyromancer. Ooh, little Liliana. Okay. I'm gonna probably get rid of the Urborg. Now I might draw with the Relic. I'm going to get rid of the Urborg because it's just a land. I'm going to probably draw with the Relic here because we do want to hit our land. I might be pitching Fatal Push to hit the Liliana. It's tough to say. It's tough to say. Let's draw. Maze Mind Tome's like a walker. Kind of is sometimes. All right, we make 3 mana here. I honestly don't care if Liliana happens again here. I might just pitch like a Fatal Push, put the Maze Mind Tome and the Relic into play. Maybe I just do one. Let's put the Maze Mind Tome into play, wait on the Relic. Maybe I'll just ditch the Relic. Like, so what? Leave myself Fatal Push in March. We're just trying to work towards Invoke Despair. This time we're going to probably scry here to find the 4th land, and that'll give us the Invoke to get rid of the Liliana, plus the creature that shows up. So maybe the Fatal Push is the thing to just send away. I don't know. That's so rude. Invoke gets rid of that too. Gonna be scrying for lands, it looks like. Scry for land the first time. If I find it, hopefully I won't need an upkeep one as well here. Name's Urborg. Okay. But layers. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna get rid of the relic, I think. I'm drawing with Maze Mind Tome. They get rid of Liliana. Okay. Yeah, this is layers, right? Layers, and this came down later or something. I don't know. Maybe that's not right. We need a check. Right now, Magic Online is saying layers wise, the Coffers is still a swamp. We don't need an Invoke Despair. I'm gonna double scry here. Yeah, I'm gonna double scry. Looking for a land. That one works. Might not be layers. I honestly don't know how this one works because unlike Blood Moon, I haven't had as much practice with this one. So we have 4 right now. Because this is not a swamp. You know what? I'm gonna just draw a castle here. We're gonna hit this land. I feel confident. They have 1 card to beat. It's not gonna Thoughtseize away this Invoke Despair. There's no way. So this itself is no longer a swamp, but these are swamps. What a weird turn of events. I mean, what's Liliana gonna do? Ult us? Heh! You don't think any land should be swamps here? Probably not. They're all labeled as swamps right now, and this has lost its ability. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to play it as Magic Online has it, but I would like to get that clarified for, like, if you're in a paper event. This is kicked. So this is kicked. I might need to get rid of the Liliana. Like, I can get rid of the Liliana with the March here. If in a world where we knew we were going to hold the Invoke here, I'd be happy. But if we do this, and these 2 cards would be getting pitched anyway. This doesn't grow. We get rid of this. We gain 7. Yeah, this does not have swamp, but it's the static ability. It has to be within layers. It has to be. I can almost guarantee it's somewhere in layers, and it's depending on when the static ability versus the Alpine Moon and all that. We're going to take a natural draw here. Beautiful. Do I draw here? I think we wait, and then we'll interact with our opponent later. You think it's a glitch? It might be. I mean, we'd have a basic swamp here. Liliana would still potentially be gone because this just made the 7th mana, so that it would have been 6 to Liliana. So this game is fairly similar to what it would be. I really want to draw with this castle here. Here. We'll do it this way. Act like the Coffers wouldn't be a a land or whatever. That's a good draw. All right, we'll F6 through this turn. The Alpine Moon's probably going to name the castle at this point. Has no fear. While Alpine Moon affects layer 6 ability removal, Urborg applies in layer 4, and that's the same layer in which Blood Moon applies. Put together Urborg as a swamp. Yep. All right. Yeah, because I think I want to say Blood Moon is in either 3 or 4, and I think it's 4. And it's based on timestamp, and it's always because the Blood Moon is played after. But it also might be not because it's not like Dryad is layer 4. No, Dryad is layer 3 with Blood Moon, and Blood Moon's layer 3 above Urborg. It's something like that. You know, I'm just gonna shut up. Yeah, we don't know what we're talking about. All right, they named Castle Lochthwain here. 3, 4, 5 right now. Man, Ugin, get cheaper. Get cheaper, man. Let's draw a card. Now I can do it. That's 5. Gosh dang it. It's because this is not a swamp anymore. Whatever. All right, we're gonna probably Murderous Rider the Torok here, and then we'll clean this game up. Yeah, land swamp is given, and then Urborg's like, I don't give swamps, but I already gave them out. Coupons have been distributed. Layers is crazy. If your deck has something that contains layers, definitely entertain and review them. That's why Blood Moon, I know where the layers are and where it works with things. The shenanigans, I don't know where any of it works. All right, what do you got for me, opponent? Just show me Chandra. Oh, Seasoned Pyromancer is a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to fire off Murderous Rider here at end step. We're going to hit the Torok probably, and then we'll Ugin maybe down tick or just begin up tick shenanigans. I'm going to take this 2/2. It's always good to review that stuff, though. Magic can be very complex, and it has to have the complexity of the layer system because you have things that happen at kind of similar times. And so they had to have a ranking system of those. Oh, yeah, I'm taking this. I'm going to 22. Going to 22. I have no fear here. The only thing that I'll play over Ugin is probably an Invoke Despair. That's when you're 22. All right, Swift End. We'll do this one. I kind of want to fetch here. I don't need to draw any more swamps and stuff. So let's go ahead and fetch here just to thin library ever so slightly. And then we'll see what we're drawing for the turn. Again, not using the Maze Mind Tome here. Okay, Blast Zone. Blast Zone on 1. Looks like the world will implode if I do that. So we should do that. 1, 2, 3. Go boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just feels right to do. Boom, boom. Oh. Now we make the mana. Now we make the mana. I'll take an Ugin. I'll uptick Ugin here just to create a blocker. Card draw technically. Castle's unlocked. Urborg's unlocked. We got an Expedition map tucked under the Spirit token. Ugin at 5. Maze Mind Tome redraw. Oh, it's card draw. They're going to remove this and try to get in at this Ugin, and we're going to go back to the hand. Card draw indeed. We have experienced Ugin's great power in Red Prison, and we end up playing it now. For very obvious reasons. You can attack when you've got 2 cards in hand, whoosh, with the cards you want. Opponent goes, I'll block those, and then you slam even better threats than your little 2/2 spirit-looking token. Okay, Bloodstained Mire and fetching with the Bloodstained Mire probably needs not swamp mana, even though I was so nice to give it to them. They get a Blood Crypt in the form of a basic mountain. Try my best, exactly. Unholy Heat? Oh, I'd be so upset. And at the same time, I wouldn't. Seasoned Pyromancer. Drawing cards, ditching the card in the hand. Maybe it's a land, maybe it's not. Lingering Souls? What do you got? What do you got? Village Rites. Okay. Good for them to not draw 2. I don't know. I think I would have done Village Rites before the Seasoned Pyromancer, honestly. Like, Village Rites your own Seasoned Pyromancer and, like, see what you draw. Because then you would have more mana to do things, where now you have less because of the Seasoned Pyromancer. It's not like you're getting through. Are you? Are you? Block. I don't care if they burn an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize here. Absolutely fine. By all means, opponent, go for it. Don't care. It's a expedition map. It'll let me do amazingly broken things, but I'm already doing those broken things, so go ahead, steal it. Like, do they Unholy Heat? I mean, Unholy Heating the Ugin would be pretty good for them. If they do that, then this gets the Abandoned Mire, and the Abandoned Mire picks back up the Ugin at a later date so that I can re-slam the Ugin. All right, we'll just take natural draw here. Cool. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see what they're doing. Let's remove this upkeep stop. You know what? Actually, let's just leave it there. You know what? No. All right. We have a, what was it? Bloodstained Mire in their hands. Cool. Uptick. Damnation's tucked under this one. Let's play Expedition Map. Let's float mana here. Draw. I was going to Expedition Map. I'm still going to Expedition Map, but I'm going to go get a Coffers now because I have 2 floating. Play Coffers, make big mana, do big Karn things. Let's uptick for value here. Let's draw with Mazemind Tome. That seems broken to do. Gonna gain some life. Fatal Push is cool, but let's just Murderous Rider and pass turn. Full mana value used. That's Little Karn. Did I say Karn Liberated? It's liberating to draw this Karn. Opponent had a Bloodstained Mire. Let's keep that in mind. Like, I was going to get Abandoned Mire with the thought of, okay, we're going to lose Ugin, maybe to Bolt or something. But now that we got the Karn and we had the mana floating, we just kind of continued to accelerate our mana. Bloodstained Mire played, and my opponent's got the card that they drew for the turn here. I mean, this next turn I could get whatever I want with the Karn. Probably Sundering Titan. Or, ooh, Sands of Delirium. We're doing it. All right, if my opponent doesn't concede again... Ooh, Village Rites. Nice. If they don't concede, I'm going to get the Sands. We're winning this game with the Sands. Come on, opponent. Give me the turn back. No. Oh. All right, fair enough. They had 2 lands. We're going to go grab the best card in our sideboard. All right. Match 1 complete, and on to match number 2 tonight. I virtually won with Sands. With Sands? I won with Sands. Mind Goblin is 3-0. Maybe they're playing goblins. Oh gosh, look at that frog. All right, well, I've kind of talked up Mazemind Tome to some incredible level of how powerful it is. Let's run this. This doesn't look that bad. Really leveraging Maze Mind Tome here to draw cards, get ourselves deeper into the library, and then play from there. We have Blast Zone that removes 1-drops. We have March that removes something bigger. We have this to go digging for a couple cards. Seems fine. Opponent also mulligans to 6. A little bit of Tron Prison, a little bit. I feel like Sands is doubling up on the purpose of the Walking Ballista. Possibly. The Sands there, though, is like when their life total maybe is a little bit higher and the Walking Ballista is not going to get there. It's a very big possibility that your Sands could mill them out because your Coffers dealing 16, 20 mana can mill opponent out pretty decently. I don't know. Ooh, Saga. Goose. I really want to get this Blast Zone on 1, but got a little ways to go before we do that. Look at all this stuff my opponent's doing. This is kind of making me nervous. It's kind of making me nervous. Let's fetch. Let's play a Maze Mind Tome, passive turn. Not a lot I can do here. Infinite life could be a thing, or just naturally gaining a lot of life here. There's a lot of artifacts out here. I'm really concerned. But my opponent hasn't really done anything. I guess I'm not really drawing here. I need to find something to deal with, like, what do I need here? I like it. I like a Fatal Push or a Damnation. I don't need a land. I'm gonna scry twice to avoid lands. I'm attempting to avoid lands. Give me a Damnation or something. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna just feel to ruin the Urza Saga here. I mean, I guess I just do that right now. There's no real reason to wait. It's a lot of swamps. All right, big 7/7. But I feel like we can beat this. We're going to do scrying again with the Maze Mind Tome, trying to find our Fatal Pushes. Again, Damnation, Fatal Push. Invoke Despair could potentially get us there. Coffers is close. I was just discarding the Oval Chase like it's their best friend. Land drop and 4-drop. Oh, plays the Oval Chase. Got an 8/8 here. We're looking for Damnation, I think. I can play a March to gain some life. Maze Mind Tome. Bottom the land. Take the draw. Damnation. Gosh, there's so many lands. All right. So we're probably... I guess I'm playing Coffers here because I can make kind of similar amount of mana. And I'm just going to smack the Oval Chase here. I feel like I do this actually right now. I feel like I do this right now. I'm afraid that they'll defend this in some weird way that I'm not, like, aware of. And then we'll scry, and then we'll see if we can find an answer for Construct. We have 4 Fatal Pushes. Oh, shoot. That's right. They can sacrifice with... this is fine. I'll go to 0. Forgot about the oven. This is not fine, clearly. Oh, we're dead. We're dead. There's a couple ways they could have killed me. I did, for what it's worth, I did draw. I bottomed 3 lands, 2 swamps, and 1 Bloodstain Mire, and I drew 3 here. Urborg, and there's the Fatal Push. So we were basically the turn away from finding that and then maybe starting to get ourselves into a better situation. Okay, so Feed the Swarm looks like it's about the only thing I care about coming in here. Invoke Despair is questionable here because they should have a lot more creatures than typical. The Necromencias could come in as well, naming Saga, Asmo, or other things. So I'm kind of looking at these. I also kind of just like maybe just cutting all the Thoughtseizes and doing this. I've done this a lot. Double feed plus a Necromentia tucked in here. Seems all right. Let's try it. We have a bunch of Karns here too, so a lot of their artifacts shouldn't be a problem if we can find what we need a little bit earlier than drawing 6 to 7 lands there. All right, let's play first. This is much better. This is much better. It's a hand we like to see. I like double Fatal Push here. I love the Maze Mind Tome, and Invoke Despair is a fine card to start catching back up with. You should push it to the limit. Should push it to the limit. Look, it's a goose. Look, it's a goose. I'm actually going to hit this goose. We just want to slow down my opponent. I can do it. I will try. I will try. We're going to probably do some scrying again. No, they sent me a sad face for killing the goose. Cook dinner. Here we go again. That card's pesky, but it's not the worst. I'm actually going to draw here instead now. So we kind of need to just hit the lands, and any card value would be good here. But I like your name more than I like you. Watching you is a byproduct of having a sweet name. Fluffy Wolf. We are the sweetest name. All right, draw a card. Just take whatever we get. There's a Necromentia. Now I kind of want to scry, because I do want to play that Necromentia. I would name Urza's Saga. I'm going to scry. Mugen. We're not casting that. That gets rid of Saga. I have to get rid of it, don't I? All right, we're doing this again. I can wait now, I guess, on the Necromentia, sort of. Pop. Okay. We'll pass. We're going to see what they play. If they play the Urza Saga, the Invoke Despairs clear it. There's a Street Wraith. I could scry end step, but scrying before my draw is the key here. Finale for 0. What up, Asmo? What up, Asmo? What up, man? How's it going? Perfect example of where I would probably want to scry here. Cookbook showing up. Oh, got an extra. That's because Damping Sphere is here. Okay. I think I scry again because I have the Invoke Despair, and I just wanna throw that at them. That'll draw me the cards if I can find the land here. Technically gets rid of that. We're gonna go high value play here. Draw the card. Land. That gets rid of it too. All right. This doesn't make anything because of Damping Sphere. It's all sad. I think we just march this away. I could Necromentia something, but I can march this away too. You know what? Let's exile the Necromentia. Done. Their random sphere. All right, we kill Asmo here. They've got a cookbook that they can do a few things with. We're just looking to draw that random land. We can find that random land. It'll be good. Cookbook, throw an Oval Chase to the graveyard like it's their best friend once again. We're talking about the Damping Sphere. It's apparently a random one of in their list. And it got us. All right, we're going to throw Oval Chase back to the graveyard here. Oh, no. Festering Troll. Or Feastering. Not Festering. Jeez. Sacrifice your food. Make the thing. Play the Oval Chase. Oh, man. Now we need like a Damnation. Give me the goodies. Well, I get to draw with this and see if we find the land. We don't. I want to... Oh. All right. That's okay. We'll scry for the land here or a Damnation at this point. This is only 11. 11. We're at 28, though, thanks to March. So, you know, we've got a few things going for us. There's a goose. That makes a food. They can pitch the last card for a food. Scrying. Oh. All right. Put this on top. We draw this. We play Expedition Map. We crack this for an Urborg. Wherever the Urborg is. We play the Urborg, and then on their turn, we can Rider the Troll or something like that. And that technically gained us 2 mana because of the Cabal Coffers here. We'll probably scry again, by the way. Oh, they have another Oval Chase. Dang, Oval Chases. Dang you, Oval Chase. Probably should have done this in upkeep. They're going to have this perfect card of a Veil of Summer, probably. I don't know if this text has something like doesn't die or whatever, but we're good. We're kind of back in this game because they just ditched the Oval Chase and bring back the Troll. And then if I play an Invoke Despair, they end up just sacrificing the Gilded Goose. So I wouldn't say we're exactly back in this game just yet. We probably need a Damnation. Damnation followed by maybe Karn the Great Creator to get back in this game. Because Troll has returned. And this is 7 plus 4 is 11 killing me, plus extra Oval Chase. So we are going to scry with the Maze Mind Tome. We are looking probably for Damnation, though. Oh, Witch's Oven's nasty, too. All right. Look for Damnation. Come on, Damnation. That's not it. Bottom. Damnation. I could Invoke Despair. They get rid of Goose. But they have the Witch's Oven. But I could make them sacrifice the Troll. I draw, let's see here. I have 1 black after this. I can kill the oval chase. All right. You like blocking with the Murderous Rider here because the last card in their hand's oval chase. It's kind of an interesting line. This has trample. The problem is that I can't do both of those because of Damping Sphere unless I'm ditching an Invoke Despair. So I think it's just smarter to go ahead and do the Invoke Despair here. And then on their turn, we can kill the oval chase, at least make the Witch's Oven happen. And here I should draw 2 cards, so I might be able to kind of make them sacrifice the Troll instead, depending on how many things I want to get rid of. Gilded makes a food token, smart. But they can't use Witch's Oven on it. Okay. Again, I should probably be doing this in their upkeep, but let them go to combat here. Because now I have a Karn. 4, 5, 6. Maze Mind Tome for 7, but Karn can't do that. So the only way I live here is by doing the March plan here. So March here, getting rid of Oak Despair, cast, use black mana, done. This technically kills it. They'll sacrifice it so I don't gain 2 and I take down to 4. Still kind of looking for that damnation pretty much. But now they have 2 food tokens, so killing this troll without the relic in play means I'm dead. But I'm gaining 4 here. The game's really in a very strange state here. So we might have to use Murderous Rider to block and put like a relic down or something like that. Maze Mind is definitely just a gain 4 here. What do we draw? I can't bridge. We're going to bottom that Karn. Sphere is dumb. Sphere is stopping us from doing a lot with the coffers right now. March is an interesting draw here because the Witch's Oven is tapped. I can leave enough for Relic to be put down and to gobble up the graveyard. But that doesn't stop the festering. If I were to play Relic first, I have 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. 3 if I want to use the Relic. So I need to put the relic down first. I'm going to kill Oval Chase, gain a little bit, so the troll is not killing me. Karn Bridge, kill Devil. There's a Sphere. Sphere's messing me up here. Going to 10. And then we're going to gobble gobble. Shoot, that's not the right kind of land. I already have an Urborg. All right, troll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So I won't have bridge. I set up So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have 2 mana. I don't know, because I had Karn and Relic and the thing. I have 2 mana. Oval Chase is a 4/2. You're crazy, people. Russ would die. All right, I'm going down to 3. Karn, animate the artifact, kill them with March. You guys, this sphere. That's all I'm gonna say. Sphere. I don't think I have an out here. Troll's a 7/6. Take my draw. Even Sphere stops the whole like Urborg damnation and murders rider here. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to second main, and maybe they'll have F6 the turn, and maybe if they have 6 the turn, they'll just like forget them. Oh my gosh, they didn't have 6 the turn. Damnation. Bring it back right now. Bring it back right now. I can't play this. I can't play this. All right. I can't Karn and Bridge. There's a Sphere in play. Sphere has a lot of text on it that's impacting us right now. Wait, they didn't bring it back? Can they not do this at instant speed? Only during your turn. It has more text on it. I mean, I'm gonna die anyway. I need another damnation. Running damnations? Well, if I could live a little bit longer here, we'd have potential game, I think. My line had you alive at 1 and Bridge in play. There's no way. There's no way, Russ. There wasn't enough mana. All right. Before we go here, this is the mana I had because we haven't had any increase. I had Karn, I had Relic, I had March. You said play Karn, right? 4 mana, go get Bridge. Cool. And then you said kill Oval Chase on upkeep. I can't. March would be X equals 1. So March equals X equals 1. This is a 4/2 and I die. I was at 11. Oh, you're saying, well, okay. You're saying X equals 1. I would gain the life because they'd let it through and then I'd be at 1. So I'm not killing. And then I'd have the Bridge. Well, but I would be at 1 because I was at 11, right? Not 10. No, it's a 4. Yeah, it's a 4/2, but I would have mathematically been at a 1, right? Was I dead? I don't remember. Was I at 11 or 10 or I don't know. I don't know. Oh gosh, I'm gonna die. Maybe they don't attack with everything. Block. I still think I was dead. Damping Sphere did a lot this game, stopping me from a variety of things happening just because I couldn't do the Coffers shenanigans. And once I could do that, you know, I was at 8 life at that time. Okay. Cool. There was a point where I was at 11, but all right. We're dead all around. We played correctly, I think. Or as correctly as we could. A lot of people were suggesting play Karn plus Bridge. That takes 8 mana with Sphere. We don't have the Coffers. So a lot of things not going for us there with the Damping Sphere. I went up to 10 with the March for 2. Yeah, and that was when the oven was tapped out. Obviously, the oven and other things would have been offline if I could get the Karn down, but the troll was going to kill the Karn. I don't think I had an out. I don't think I had an out. I think we played as well as we could. Yeah, we could watch the replay and take a good look at it, because it's a close game, but I think that sphere constantly had us 1 mana from being efficient, and that 1 mana being efficient was the problem. Yeah, Karn the Great Creator is expensive. Thankfully, I own 4 of them. I got them way back for Red Prison. The Dogfish. That name sounds familiar. All right, we're going to keep this again with the Maze Mind Tome, but this time I've got Urborg and a Thoughtseize to kick things off. All right, Russ, you should be focusing on that. Go plug your phone in or something. Ask people for chargers. Someone's got to have one. All right, let's go ahead and Thoughtseize. Yeah, I hope everything's all right. Start off with the Thoughtseize against the Dogfish. What do we got here? What is this? I guess I take the Unlicensed Hearse. Only because it's something I can't really kill easily. I guess. We'll see. Little Den of the Bugbear from my opponent. We got the field for that later, so that's not a problem. I'm just going to go ahead and Maze Mind Tome. We're probably drawing with this. I don't see them doing anything drastically dangerous here in the next 2 turns. Just eat 6 Advils. Yeah, that's not a good idea. That doesn't sound good. I mean, I think you can give Advil to a dog. Like, the ibuprofen I think is okay, but probably not in that quantity. Tron is struggling right now. Mike Belfato 77. Yeah. I would research it some. Research it some, see if that's what you want to commit to. Yeah, Visage is pretty strong. Visage is kind of like that Field of Ruin that everyone was trying to run against Tron, and now it's just a great card for people to be running. I couldn't have one, and I don't see a line where you could have. Draws just didn't line up. I was missing like a land, probably. And the troll was really good. If I found the relic earlier, or if I had probably 1 extra land at some point there, and it wasn't the Urborg, I would have had a turn where I could Karn down tick and get Bridge into play. Getting Bridge into play immediately was the need, because then the Karn shuts off all the artifacts, and then they just have to top deck an answer to Bridge. At that point, I could probably work through their lands or find some way to prevent them from unlocking themselves there. Coffers was an actual swamp because I did have a Urborg in play. My opponent has disappeared, apparently. It wasn't a swamp initially. It took a few turns, but we ended up top decking an Urborg. Remember, or no, we got that off the map, and I made the comment about it. It's like 2. Opponent disconnected. It was that point where we said, oh, this is kind of like getting 2 mana with the Urborg. Yeah, earlier in the game, yeah. You stumbled for a bit where you could have invoked Despair. Yeah, if I would have been able to invoke Despair probably a turn earlier, then I wouldn't have to pitch the one Invoke Despair to the March, and now I would have had double Invoke Despair, and that would have probably given me enough to get me to the next step, which would have helped us lock the game out, and then we would have been able to progress from there. If Relic was a black card or a land you could have, yeah. Yeah, it was like nice to have the Relic, but it was in this awkward place where playing it was also using the Damping Sphere as well. Gladiator, thank you for the raid. The interaction between Besieging and Ren 6 is really absurd. It kind of is. All right. I thought I played it decently, but you know, it's always worth it to go back and review what is happening. Let's turn off auto yields. No, I've decided that I'm going to draw F6 all the way. We're going to stay with that line. There's nothing they could play that would change my mind here. Hopefully they return, though. It's Dogfish usually doesn't disconnect, so something must be up, which is not a good sign. Usually we can get a quick game in with them, and maybe their power went out or something like that. Here they come. They're coming back. Now you just gotta crush this red deck and eat a taco and you win at life. Dang. I had a quesadilla for lunch. Does that count? I mean, the way the place made it was kind of like a taco. Chicken fajita meat, cheese, tortilla. Yes, it counts. Guacamole. There's some lettuce options, rice, beans. Clock win. My opponent's rejoined. I don't like winning by the clock when I don't have to. I think the clock is excellent on Magic Online because I think I like a chess clock. I played a lot of chess growing up, so I like the chess clock, but I don't like winning by a forfeit when opponent has to unfortunately disconnect or something due to who knows what. We lost a 3-0 run in a challenge 3-4 years ago because of a small disconnect that ended up happening. And by the time I got back, it was the timeout, and it was sad. We were on a tear, and it was big sad. Big sad. Yeah. Opponent plays a Blast Zone. I think I still just draw with the Maze Mind Tome. There's a Reckless Impulse. My opponent finds a Bugbear and a Ragavan. I will still just be drawing here. Looking great. I can field the Blast Zone if I'm worried about it hitting the Maze Mind Tome. And I can also Fatal Push and or Murderous Rider a monkey. This is looking really good. I'd love to draw and do that. We have a lot of game life, by the way, in this list, so red deck's not so scary. Let's see what this turn results in. There's a Mountain Blast Zone's been played. We have maybe Dashing Monkey here, maybe not. This isn't exactly what I expected. Interesting. Lightning Bolt and Shatter Skull. Well, let's go ahead and draw a card. Let's just take the turn. Let's Thoughtseize them. Let's see what's going on. Full information's always nice to have. All right, Bone Crusher, Lightning. Opponent's got a lot of Lightning Bolts. It's kind of nervous. Making me nervous a little bit. Let's get rid of the Seasoned Pyromancer here. Play the land. Probably draw with the Maze Mind Tome again, and we'll then Damnation next turn with potentially Fatal Push up for, you know, Dashing Monkeys. It was an okay Reckless Impulse. It was just I mean, they chose what they wanted to play there. I mean, we've played 2 Thoughtseize. It's not like we've actually threatened them with anything so far. We're going to take 4 here, too. I'm going to lean heavily on our Maze Mind Tome to gain us some life, plus the Damnation to clean up the board. Okay. And the Fatal Push. So now I'm thinking this Blast Zone is going to hit us for the Maze Mind Tome. And I kind of want this Maze Mind Tome to happen, so I might just wait till end step, Field of Ruin this. And or not even maybe waiting until end step. We might just do it and then hit some of these things. Or we can just, you know, gain a lot of life. Let's play on the edge here. I think we're in an excellent spot. It may not look like it, but I think we are. How much more on the edge can we get? Stomps me here. See, they can still Lightning Bolt to cancel out the March. Which makes me a little bit nervous to do that. Let's go ahead and let them untap. Unless they fire off Bolt, then I will just send everything at, like, Seasoned Pyromancer. Bolt me. Bolt me. I'll probably leave myself 1 Fatal Push, and I'll get rid of the other Fatal Push and Murderous Rider to gain an additional 4. Negating the Bolt and gaining all of the extra, plus killing the creature. Tomes have been excellent. Yeah, Tomes done a lot more than I would think it does. We were comfortable with them in Red Prison. We did play a Red Prison with Tomes, and they fit a little bit better in this list because you do want to draw cards. I'm on Dogfish. Oh, they disconnected again. Oh man, long game. The other thing that could happen here is that Bone Crusher Giant is played with no extra land, and that's when we'll, like, march them like crazy. Why are we talking about lemon pepper chicken? What? What kind of seasonings in response to being on the edge? Did I say something that prompted lemon pepper chicken or lemon pepper beef or lemon pepper pyromancer? Pyromancer's pizza man. Seasoned pizza man. Using oregano, thyme, rosemary, paprika. No. This is Pizza Man, Seasoned Pyromancer. Look at that. It's an oven behind Seasoned Pyromancer. Pulled out pizza. That's why the hands are on fire. Cooked. Cooked. Not like the cookbook. That's a dangerous type of cooking. That's Underworld. It's probably got zombie flesh in there. Hopefully they get back here. We're feeling pretty good here in game number 1, and having my opponent lose time here is not ideal. This person's internet's usually fine. Something like weather might be a problem right now, or something else for them, because they're usually very quick. We play this person a lot online. We played them plenty. Oh, you have the old border Karns? Ugh. I really don't like those from a readability kind of stance. They're really hard to read. They're interesting. The art's really cool. I appreciate the old border nature of the planeswalkers, but man, the templating on those is just like a headache. Luckily, I know all the abilities of Karn, so I could just play it. But if my opponent needed to read, they'd have to read an entire paragraph to figure out what was going on in the game. Static ability, uptick, downtick. That's all you need to know. They're funny. They're interesting, that's for sure. They are interesting. I guess this lull in time is a great time to remind our folks, our subs, that you do have brand new fresh emotes. They have all been unlocked here and going forward will be available. Some of those will be animated by the end of probably maybe mid next month is what the animated artist said. So check those out if you haven't. Yeah, the all-powerful, just don't leave it in the sideboard for deck checking and stuff. Like, have it, like, in a binder handy. Like, first page of your binder or something like that, or something. All right, so my opponent's going to bolt. This is where we go ahead and go March-tastic on my opponent, getting rid of that Fatal Push and that Murderous Rider we talked about. And full send in terms of the mana. We'll scry with the Mazemind Tome to put us a little bit closer to the gain 4. We're gaining 8 here, so that should be good. We're going to 15 overall. 15 overall. Field can hit the Den of the Bugbear. 1, 2, 3. Basically, if we top deck a land, we can field plus that. And I held the Fatal Push just to have a little bit of extra removal here. Keep in mind that Dashing Monkey could be a real pain. Land drop. This Lightning Bolt's been used. Ooh, that could be a problem. Exiles, Soul Guide Lantern. That could be a little bit of a problem. We were planning to clean up the Bone Crusher Giant, and now we have a Chandra Torch of Defiance over there. I will be scrying here. Problem no more. Problem no more. We'll see if this Den of the Bugbear becomes live here. Maybe I'll draw land. That's fine. We can gain 4 and we can deal with the Den of the Bugbear plus the board. Oh, we have a lot of ways to get rid of planeswalkers. I'm never too worried about them. If they play Bone Crusher, then I will only scry here because I'll probably play Damnation and then leave Fatal Push open. Reckless, okay. We have a Islet and a Fury. So they can play the Islet, they can play the Bone Crusher. We can technically get rid of the Bone Crusher through a Fatal Push. The Fury is a little bit harder to kill. I take damage if I do that, but I could draw instead. I think I'm going to draw here and Fatal Push Bone Crusher with a removal of Den of the Bugbear. Now maybe I don't do this. Let's scry instead. I drew another Mazemind Tome. That made this a little bit awkward. Bottom that. I don't need that. We can now kill Den of the Bugbear. I'm trying to save the Damnation. If I can save the Damnation, we'll be in good shape here. Kill Bone Crusher. I take 2. Play Mazemind Tome. Opponent gets a draw, but they also have the Fury coming down, and then I have the Damnation to clear the board. We do have some Seasoned Pyromancers down here that are going to be problematic. This is a good card. Is it good enough? I think... I'm going to say no because of Seasoned Pyromancer tokens. I'm going to take another Scry here, probably. Hits for 1. We're going to Damnation. I'll put that one on top. That one makes the game interesting. Okay. So now I make 6, 4. So Damnation plus Karn. Down tick. Yes, and go get Worm Coil. Worm Coil gains some life here. I'm at 11. Bolts Karn, totally fine. I thought about getting Sundering Titan stuff. Reckless Impulse finds Lightning Bolt and Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat technically gets rid of the Worm Coil. Let's go ahead and draw with Maze Mind Tome. I guess I should wait till my draw step. It's fine. Blast Zone played. Float some cool mana here. Let's do this. So here I'm gonna go get a relic. Right? I have a relic. No, I have Maze Mind Tome. I could get another Maze Mind Tome. That'd be kind of funny. I want to get maybe the Tormod's Crypt to clear the graveyard here. That way I don't have to worry about the tokens. I'm trying to wait till the Unholy Heat and the Lightning Bolt pass. So I'm going to get the Tormod's Crypt. And the Tormod's Crypt is going to get rid of their graveyard. Bolt may hit here. I could see the Unholy Heat trying to hit this. I'm going to hold... Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. They're going to use Unholy Heat. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm not worried about this. Graveyard's more important. I'm gaining 4 here. So they bolt. They do that. I'm at 8. Graveyard's gone. 2 cards to beat. I'm going to gain 4. I'm going to play a Worm Coil Engine. They don't have a good way to get rid of Worm Coil Engine, probably. Stomps me. I go to 6. This is fine. They replay this then. That's fine. Ooh, Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, okay. Even if they got double bolt, they would need a triple bolt here because I'm going to gain some good life here. There's a Den of the Bugbear. That one's annoying. Field of Ruin would be nice. Let's take our draw. That's a pretty good card here. 8, 9, 10, 11. We can invoke and Worm Coil. That gets rid of the Seasoned Pyromancer. We draw 2 cards. We get to Worm Coil Engine. We should be good from there. Cool. All right. That worked out pretty nicely. Inquisition's Thoughtseize is out. That's probably going to be it. That's probably it. We have a lot of removal. There are enough burn that I feel a little edgy on putting the Feed the Swarm in. So we're just going to go with this. Maybe rip a Maze Mind Tome on turn 2 and enough removal to keep them on their back foot. Remember, we have a bunch of marches as well. Seems like a good matchup. It's at least a decent matchup. Having a lot of that spot removal, dealing with the creatures, anything aggressive really struggles to get through this version of, you know, Tome Despair Coffers. Tome Despair Coffers. It does what it needs to. Does what it needs to. All right, Dogfish. Keep your internet connection live here. We're up a game. You got 2 to go for you if you're going to win this one. I've got 1 to go for me. All right. Very loose keep by me. But we will manage, I think. I think we can manage this. Let's just stop drawing land. So I'm going to try not to fetch with these. I like to fetch usually and see what happens, but in this case, I think it's just better to keep our life total as high as possible until I maybe find a march. Maybe I should just be doing this. I mean, that's 2 damage. How dangerous could that really be? Let's do it. Just gonna play everything. Gonna use the relic here so I can hit the big F6 button and keep going. Whoa, we got the Ragavan. That's cool. Maybe lands are harder for them to get into play. We're looking at good coffers probably here, or we could get a field if they put a Den of the Bugbear down. Not going to get Castle Lochthwain, obviously, here. And if they play a Dashing Monkey, Karn is probably just going upticked. Ooh, well, Shattering Spree. All right, they kill both of these. That's fine. I like it. I like it. Haven't seen a good Shattering Spree in some time. We don't get the draw out of the relic. That's fine. It's not the end of the world for us. We'll do our fetch and hit F6. Like I said, Karn's probably going uptick here. Opponent hasn't really done a ton of damage to us. There's the Den of the Bugbear. Opponent pillages us. I'm going to throw a castle down. You can pillage that opponent. F6. Are we just going for this Den of the Bugbear plan here? It'll work. Oh, you should have shocked in or bolted in. Oh, you going to pillage again? All right. Bone Crusher. Alpine Moon. That's fine. Name's Coffers. I'm going to go get Wormcoil with the card. Cabal Coffers named. I've been put on pause. I've been put on pause because the Fatal Push can get rid of the Den of the Bugbear. Reckless Impulse, there's a Bone Crusher and a Shatter Skull Smashing. Oh, we're going to need a Bold or something. Hits us for 4. Our life total looks okay in this matchup. Does not play the other Bone Crusher here, interestingly enough. All right. We get to play Karn, Greatest Creator, Downtick, and Fatal Push will be available to us if they fire it off here. Go get our Wormcoil. Life total's on the edge of its seat here, though. Stomps, Great Creator. Unholy Heat. They want to kill Karn, or they want to make it low enough that it doesn't have an impact in this game. Yeah, we're hoping that Karn gets turned on for the push here. Let's go to begin combat. Now I'll kill the Den of the Bugbear. I'd love to kill the Bone Crusher, but I'm going to kill at least the land that's harder to kill here. Keep in mind that when I play Wormcoil, I'll also have the Abandoned Mire. I don't think they should kill this. I think they should go face, but they're in a tough spot. And they do go face. I think that's the correct move here. I think they're definitely in a tough spot here. All right, a little Wormcoil down, defend against the Bone Crusher Giant. We don't care if this dies. Again, we have the Abandoned Mire in hand. We can just basically rebuy that. We're going to be playing Maze Mind Tome behind this as well, scrying and drawing rapidly with it in order to get it activated. Let's keep a watchful eye that we have Raminot Ruins across from us. Opponent bolts us. It looks like they might be just playing a Bone Crusher Giant. In any case where we can probably attack, we probably should. See some Pyromancer. This may be Walking Ballista territory, by the way. There's Coffers. Coffers is just mana. 5, 6, so it's a 3/3. We can make it a 2/2 and play the Maze Mind Tome. Does Maze Mind Tome get me out of this? I could attack and then get like a bridge. I don't know if that's a good idea. Sands Mills. I guess I could leave this up instead of keep closing it. Sands Mills, so that's not what we want. This is like, I'd like an elixir, ironically. Bridge is interesting, especially after an attack with Wormcoil. I kind of like a Walking Ballista. Yeah, I could Tome. The problem is I want to draw or activate Tome. And so if I did that, it would have Summoning Sickness and we wouldn't get closer to activating. That's why I'm wondering if Walking Ballista and then a Tome out could be enough. Like just straight Wormcoil attack. And then use the Walking Ballista to defend or kill something. Because this is only when it becomes the target of a spell. So I'm gonna go with Walking Ballista here and a Tome, but I'm gonna put the Walking Ballista on 2, which kind of shows that I'm going to sacrifice the Walking Ballista. Because I think the Tome with the Scries here and the Walking Ballista buying us enough time, we should be good. I can also now just go ahead and attack with the Wormcoil to gain 6. Cool. And then I can rebuy the Walking Ballista with the Abandoned Mire if I wanted to. It's maybe not the brightest thing. All right, so they do this. So now we just remove and kill the Bone Crusher. Okay. So Bone Crusher dead. Oh no, Bone Crusher's a 4/3. What am I doing? Well, we'll just call that a nice, good punt. Oh, look, we'll put that on top. All right, we're fine. We're fine. We have the damnation. 4, 5, 6, 7. We have the damnation to undo Fluffy's terrible mistakes. Good old damnation. All right, we gain the life. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damnation. Maze Mind Tome activation here. Make some blockers and neuters. Just do the activation right now. Cool. All right. Never didn't always have it. I was just showing off in my terrible ways. What is this? Oh, Fury's a good one. Fury's a pretty good one. Okay, bonus Coffers here. 1, 2, activate Maze Mind Tome for a draw. Spew mana into March. It is odd that they killed the Death Touch one and not the life linking one. Put my opponent to 3. I'm at 21. I don't think we can lose from here. Reckless Impulse. We have a, what, Bone Crusher plus Blood Moon here? But yeah, I don't think we can lose here. Invokes Fury to get rid of the life linker. Fluffy's a cool marble here. Now they play Bone Crusher Giant. Cool. You swift end on opponent. We could try. We could try. All right. I guess next turn we just kill them with a walking ballista. We just kill him with a walking ballista next turn. So next turn, well, we can Murder Strider here, and then we can Abandon Mire, and Abandon Mire will find the walking ballista that's in the graveyard. We pick it up, and then we just spew a mana into it. We definitely screwed up with the walking ballista there. I should have pinged off the Seasoned Pyromancer, but it didn't really... It didn't fault us. We'll just say that. We'll just say that. All right. Puts us at 2-0. 2-1. 2-1. That was definitely a mistake, though. You just gotta have that worm coil engine, though. A lot of life gain for people to deal with. Even the faster decks, like we said, can't quite get through. And we close the door. At least that's what we try every time. All right, match 4 coming up here. Looking to get a 4-1. We've been doing well. 3-2 is definitely in the works. 4-1 is not too much of a stretch. 5-0 seems to only be a stretch just because of Magic's modern meta, and if you're not quite paired up well enough against every matchup, you are going to run into some of those variable losses. Some variable losses. Happy Friday to everyone here that is currently live and watching the stream. Hopefully you're enjoying your Friday and going to enjoy your weekend as well. My opponent is playing a Vintage Cube. The Romulo MG. No MTG. Ooh. Wow. How deep do we want to go here? Let's do it. Keep. Oh, it's a Kahira deck. Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't have said keep. We'll see. F6. They start us off here. We're going to use Relic and go the distance. We'll see. We'll see. Ooh, all right. I like that extra swamp. That's important. We're looking for an Urborg. Damnation and Fatal Push, probably not the cards we want here, but Castle Lochthwain's looking pretty good against our potential control opponent. Now, if they are a elemental list, it's a little odd they start with Island, but if they are, we can manage that fairly well. Bonus Relic. We'll play Bonus Relic. Pass the turn. We are going to keep this graveyard checked here. No reason not to. Should be an interesting game. We'll wait to draw with either of these. I'm going to take at least one more draw here. Maybe we can find ourselves a map or something. Here comes Teferi. There be Teferi. I can't bounce these because I have 1 mana open. Damnation looking really awkward now. Yep. All right, like I said, no draws yet. Game's going to get real interesting real fast here. We'll lead with Urborg. Game's going to get interesting real fast here. Going to need our Thoughtseizes and then a big play. No target on the Teferi. Makes sense. Flooded Strand for our opponent. So the key here is if we don't have the Thoughtseize, we start drawing a lot of cards, and then when we are able to play 2 to 3 spells a turn, then we'll entertain interacting with my opponent's couple counter spells. Ideally, we'll be able to push through all their spells at some point. This is going to be an Archmage Charm draw 2, probably. Yep. Counter spells cost mana, and we have a lot more of it. It's going to eat up their graveyard, like I said. They could be playing the, what is it, Memory Deluge card. 4 cast, 7 flashback. Go looking, basically dig through time-esque. We don't need that in our lives. I really kind of wish I had a way to get these fatal pushes out of my hand so that the Castle Lochthwain was at least not as painful. It's a nifty card. This is a way to get those cards out of our hands. I'm not going to go after this Teferi just yet. I want to see what else my opponent's planning to play here. Remember, we want to play a couple spells if possible. Opponent draws cards. They're just strictly trying to hit their lands. At this point, they probably can have 3 maximum counter spells if they indeed do counter, counter, counter with just strictly counter spells. They have 6 mana. This could be a big Teferi as well. And if it's big Teferi, we may go ahead and cycle one of these relics so that we can see if we can get a little more action this coming turn. Jace is a reason to go ahead and cycle a relic as well. Okay. Not too scary so far. Keep in mind my opponent is not drawing. Go and eat these just really quick. I don't have a lot of mana here, so we might have a window, and this is why I think popping one, maybe both relics, this is the time to find some answers. Invoke Despair, Marches, all the good stuff. Cycle one of these. Let's see what we top deck. Another Coffers. Let's cycle the other one. Uh-oh. Okay, Thoughtseize isn't too bad here. Let's go ahead and put a Castle Lochthwain down. Let's float some mana here, and I want to draw so bad. It's going to be so painful. Let's Thoughtseize. Let's see what's going on first. Maybe I can do March first and then draw, so it's not as painful. Prismatic, Prismatic, Prismatic. Solitude, Supreme Verdict, Teferi. Oh. Well. In that case, I don't really care about the Solitude. I don't care about the Supreme Verdict, Solitude, or Prismatic Endings. I think I just take Teferi. We nuke Jace, and we draw some cards. Yeah, come here, Teferi. All right. Gonna do March, but we can pitch 2 Fatal Pushes here. And we're not gonna spend anything else. Oh, we have to spend 1. Cool. And then I can draw. And I can use Coffers one more time here. So we'll use Coffers. We'll play Mazemind Tome. They can bounce Mazemind Tome. Obviously, the Prismatic Endings get the Mazemind Tome, so we'll go ahead and take a draw here. Let's wait on that because they can kill that with the Prismatic Ending. Okay. So we only got 1 draw out of Mazemind Tome, but that's about all we're going to get here. We're holding the Damnation because they probably will have a couple creatures that I need to work through. Solitude can't be killed by the Fatal Push. Now, they may have like a land or 2 that I have to worry about. If they do bounce the Mazemind Tome, it's not the worst. I could then replay it. If they counter it, it's 1 less counter to deal with. There is also Kahira that Damnation clears. Fatal Pushes could get to Kahira, but I think the Damnation's a good just kind of catch-all. Opponent doesn't even bother bouncing the Mazemind Tome, takes a fresh draw here, plays the Scalding Tarn. We know about that card. Prismatic Endings this. Okay. Gonna have to rely on Castle Lochthwain here. March is nifty. I'm trying to think if there's any utility lands that I want to use just yet. I don't believe we have any. Let's go ahead and play a Coffers down. Let's attempt to march this for a little bit. Yeah, let's gain like 2. Put us back up to 20. That seems good. Let's map. Coffers, Castle, Maze Mine. They have another prismatic ending, so we'll have to deal with that in a sec. Float mana, draw with Maze Mine. That's good for walkers. Let's go ahead and pop map since I have the ability to at this moment. Let's just get the Abandoned Mire, I think. And let's cycle it. See if I hit Karn or Ugin. I do not. I missed a Thought Season and Invoke Despair. Not the worst. Not the best. All right, a lot of things we did that time. Didn't get a lot of headway here. We're going to lose another Maze Mine Tome. They may entertain the idea of putting a Solitude. We do have a way to get rid of a Planeswalker, which is good. This looks Solitude-like. Okay. And I'll probably try to Damnation this, put the land down. Again, we'll be drawing with Castle because we'll have the minimum amount of cards in my hand. That was a Flooded Strand for them. We know 3 cards. 3 in. 19 to 14. Are they going to Prismatic? They should. Got a lot of these Prismatics to work through. Okay. A lot of them. Maze Mine Tome to start things off. These are all redraws thus far. You know what? Let's Damnation. Let's Cabal Coffers. Let's Castle Lockthwain, then use the Maze Mine Tome. So we're taking the minimum amount. Sequence this, you know. Try to learn how to sequence this properly. There we go. See if Ugin gets the land here or not. If they have the counter, they're going to finally use it. They don't. We'll uptick here with Ugin. I unfortunately don't have 3 mana for Murderous Rider at instant speed, but that's okay. We have another Murderous Rider tucked under here, and we'll pass the turn. We're going to lose Maze Mine Tome to the final Prismatic ending, and they'll have this Ugin to deal with. This game is looking to have been turned around, hopefully. But we'll see. Opponent might have another Solitude here. Oh, Otawara to bounce Ugin. I'd rather it bounced than countered, I suppose. Works for me. Prismatic Supreme, 2 unknown cards remaining for our opponents. This is going to get Prismatic. And we're going to deal with Ugin here. Spreading Seas is the Castle Lockthwain. I will happily get rid of that with the Ugin to continue our draw engine that we've established here. Prismatic Ending. Poof. Supreme Verdict and some unknown cards. We'll see if they've maybe put Kakira to hand or deal with the Spirit Token. Four mana-ish. Supreme Verdicts. They give me the card. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I think we're in a great spot here. Land drop and 1 unknown. It's not Kakira, I can tell you that. All right, land drop. Boost this. I think we actually might just uptick the Ugin. It's a pseudo draw anyway. Instead of taking the damage here. Yeah, let's just destroy it. And then we'll draw here. We'll take the damage. Because when you take the damage, you get cool cards like that. You get cool cards like that that just end the game on the spot. Karn the Great Creator here. I'm looking for... I want a Sand so bad. We're going to Sundering Titan, then we'll look at Sands in our opponent. Nope, just kidding. Opponent concedes. I want to get a Sands down, but it looks like every time we try to do this, opponents just die out of nowhere. It's kind of strange. Okay, Inquisitions come in for this one and feed the Swarms. The Necromentias potentially can as well. As we saw, Fatal Push probably doesn't hit anything, so that's feed plus Inquisition for Fatal Pushes. I'll cut 1 Damnation here for Necromentia. And then I have Necromentia plus a Feed the Swarm that I'd like to get in here. I think Relic's a little bit anemic here. We'll bring the Necromentia in. This is going to name Counterspell. This is going to name Archmage Charm. This is going to name Teferis. It's just the one hit. Clear them so I don't have to deal with them. This last Feed the Swarm may not be necessary. My opponent doesn't have a lot of creatures. They do have a couple enchantments, as we saw, Spreading Seas, though, so we may need that for Cabal Coffers or for our Urborgs to be unlocked. Kind of makes me want to bring that in maybe over a Relic. And if I do that and take the Relic, the Karn can go get the Relic if we need it. Remember, we're leveraging Maze Mind Tome as our draw engine in this list, not necessarily Relics. So we'll do that. We'll give that a shot. Why not? Sure. Simple. Well, I like this hand. We'll keep it. Map. Wonder if I delay the map at all. Prismatic Ending, this map is sadness, but countering it is also sadness. Drawing extra swamp, I just go ahead and play this. Go ahead and Prismatic Friend over there. Got it? Poof. All good. All good. All good. We're going to work our way up to this Invoke Despair. The Damnation's the weirdest card here. Let's just fetch. Looking for a natural Urborg off the top. No dice so far. That being said, these Cabal Coffers do a little bit here. They gain 1. Well, they tap themselves and they make 3, so they're about even, right? I guess that's what they actually are. All right, so here we go again. We're gonna play the game of, we're gonna try to double spell or triple spell, and my opponent's going to be able to counter 1 to 2 things. Shocks in a Hallowed Fountain, interesting. Memory Deluge. There's that Archmage Charm. Drawing cards instead of countering things. Sands of Delirium. What an awesome play that'd be. I went to grab it one game and the opponent conceded too quickly. So maybe it's not worth it. Who knows, really? Okay, we're going to wait. We have 2 Invoke Despairs. Again, we're looking for Inquisition or Thoughtseize. Disrupt things out. We can assume my opponent has 2 counter spells. I know this didn't tap for blue, but we now have something that taps for blue. Teferi would be kind of cool to see here because I could Swift End it. We're talking about big Teferi. Little Teferi, obviously, I can't respond to that. Yeah, this one. Pop. Gosh, the fact that this is instant speed, Swift End, creature. Oh, it's everything we want. You're going to untap. We can't quite play 2 things, but I might go ahead and throw an Invoke Despair at them to test out if they have the counterspell or not. I'm going to go for it. Granted, I just opened myself up to a Spell Pierce. It's probably not the smartest thing to do. I'm fully expecting this is counterspell. I should have floated the extra mana with the Cabal Coffers. I just want to mill them out, like 2-shot them. It's for when Walking Ballista's not going to get the job done. Opponent's doing something here. I'm assuming it's just counter. Yep, Open Veto, that's fine. Our best draw is Thoughtseize, I think. Scalding Tarn. Spreading Seas, one of our coffers. Little unfortunate because we are making a lot of mana. It'd be kind of sad if they get this other coffers here too. There's our Urborg, a turn kind of late here. Let's go ahead and play our Murderous Rider down. I don't really have 2 things I can do here. I'm going to wait on the Abandoned Mire. Like I said, I'd like to be able to double spell. Double spell is, I think, how we push through the counters my opponent potentially could have here. they kill the Murderous Rider, I could try to abandon it. Okay. They're not going to bounce Murderous Rider. That's obvious. Let's go ahead and play or use the Abandoned Mire here. If we do hit a Planeswalker here, that can be our double spell. I don't know if we have enough mana to do both. If I hit a other Murderous Rider here too, that could be our double spell. I do hit Karn. All right. Thoughtseize. Oh, I got 2 Karns. Okay. Let's see if they'll allow a Karn the Great Creator to resolve. If they play Archmage Charm, I can invoke. If they play Counter Spell, it would be a little bit more awkward. Let's go another Karn here, because this leaves me a March to get rid of Teferi. Yes, because of the Murderous Rider. So we'll go ahead and March, get rid of this card. Done. And then we attack here, because this is for 4. And Teferi is gone. Now, we did burn a lot of resources, but they did up burning a lot of things to save themselves there as well. My opponent could Solitude, and looks like they do, so they leave themselves with 1 thing left here. Keep in mind that Teferi is only upticking. It's not downticking. It's not like I'm countering. So we have 1 card. They're going to draw their card for the turn. If we get a double spell here, we should get through the Invoke Despair, I think. Rest in Peace is 100% fine. We already used our Abandoned Mire, and I don't care. The only thing that's sad is that the Invoke Despair will get that instead of the... Whoa, Feed the Swarm. Okay, hold on. Let's try to feed the Spreading Seas. It's something they could bounce. They might counter this. They don't. They don't. All right, because they didn't counter it, I'm going to go for this. If they have the counter spell, we get it out of hand. If it's an Archmage Charm, I'd rather counter than draw 2. Looks like we're getting something done here. They lose a Rest in Peace and a Teferi. We draw 1 card here. They take 2. Rest in Peace really kind of prevented us from drawing a card, I suppose. Okay. Just going to pass. Murderous Rider gets rid of a Planeswalker. Am I winning, son? I'm trying. I'm trying. Let's see what my opponent's got here. Maybe they throw Kahira up. Bonus Rest in Peace. All right, that still doesn't do anything here. I'm going to hold this past turn. Remember, Murderous Rider here is more of a removal spell rather than a creature I play to kill them. All right, looks like my opponent might have a counter or something. We have the Inquisition to check. Now we need the spell, the payoff. Turning off auto yields here. If my opponent does play... I was going to say, if they played a Solitude, I'd go ahead and kill it with the Murderous Rider. Archmage Charm's a little bad to see here. Land drop 3 unknowns. I don't know. I'm just sitting here to make them think I drew an awesome spell. Make them panic. I like that card. That can eat a counter spell. That's fine. Oh man, now I want a spell. If I can get like an Invoke Despair or a Karn or something, you just Thoughtseize Inquisition, you send them to the... Send them home. That's what you do. Just cast a Solitude. I'm going to attempt to Swift End this right here. If they've got the counter, that's totally fine. We've got a Maze Mind Tome online. We're at 20 life. They're not killing us anytime soon. And it's 1 less counter. Our Inquisition Thoughtseize should beat whatever they have in their hand. It's going to be really hard for us to lose this, I think. Now, if they remove the Maze Mind Tome because they have a prismatic ending, but they didn't do it last time, so that would be their top deck. Is there considering to do it on their turn on upkeep to make them tap? I like the F6 button too much. Ooh, Boots Up Colonnade. All right, the clock is a little quicker than I first anticipated here. It's fine, though. We're going to gain 4 undo one of the Celestial Colonnade attacks here at some point. We can also do infinity damage to something. Let's go ahead and... let's Inquisition. Prismatic Ending. And I don't care about Colonnade, so let's just send the solid here. I'll even fetch for the folks in the back. Let's just make sure my opponent's not going to get us anytime soon. Cast. Let's gain 23 life. All right, that should buy us a couple turns. All right, we're at 35. It should be okay. All right, opponent's got whatever they top deck here. I don't care about the Colonnade. Going to 31. Ouch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Check it with the Inquisition here. Do you have the counter? You have the counter, opponent. Ooh, that's a fun card. All right. We'll just invoke Despair here. They're just done. It's invoke Despair, draw cards. We're drawing 3. We could Necromentia Otawara. And then Maze Mind Tome, draw another card. Map to get Castle Lochthwain, and then we're just drawing everything. Apparently a lot of lands, though. All right. 2002, 2020. Final match here. Match number 5. All right, we're 3-1. Opponent's 3-1. Fighting to the death. We have an Urborg. We have an Expedition map. We've got ourselves the ability to get Coffers and send our opponent into the ground. Yeah, blue-white control was a slight non-event. All right, let's see what this person's doing. They did Mull to 6. They've got Spritey Dragon as their avatar, all telling here. We don't have to race out the Cabal Coffers, but if my opponent does represent any white mana here, we might entertain the idea. We might also kill Monkey. Damn, Monkey. I'm going to go ahead and kill Monkey here rather than crack Expedition map. Monkey is annoying enough to go ahead and just kill. Ledger Shredder is easier to kill than Monkey, in my opinion, because it just sits there and does nothing. All right. Maybe Maze Mind Tome's better here. I kind of think so. Getting the Maze Mind Tome down, we're going to gain a little bit of life. Do maybe... I'm thinking draws might be better, but a Scry first might be the plan here. Scry first might be... This could be... Well, I was about to say it could be Death Shadow, but they didn't fetch Shock. They just went and got the basic Swamp. Oh, now I'm looking for Damnation. So this first one's going to be a Scry. It's going to be a Scry because I could... I'll just put that on top. All right. So I've got everything covered. So we will march first, and their blue is tapped out. And they can't double spell unless they have Gut Shot plus Bolt or something crazy like that. Force a Negation plus Bolt, but if they're doing that, I'm feeling pretty good here. Ooh, all right. That does get me. That does get me. I gain a little bit of life, but this comes back. All right, I like that. Good play, opponent. Good play. Bloodstained Mire. 2 cards to beat. Probably... wonder if this is a scry again or not. I'm gonna go with no. Nice. Okay, now I can draw. Draw, we hit nothing. Let's try to Swift End here. Oh, that went off immediately. Okay, and pass the turn. Wow, that was like gone. Here. You activate Expedition Map so you can get the full value. Do I Blast Zone here, or do I Cabal Coffers? Do I... Man. I think I'm just going to Coffers. I don't think I want to be drawing. I just want all the mana. How about that? It'd be kind of funny to start field ruining them. Gonna take natural draw. We're gonna take a draw here. We're looking for a damnation at this point. Or Karn plus bridge would be okay. Oh, fatal push, you jerk. All right, let's take a draw. My gosh, we have 1,000,000 mana. Make 6 here. I'm like trying to decide if I play Murderous Rider and then Fatal Push here or not. Menace is kind of a pain. Flyer is kind of a pain anyway. I don't... I'm gonna see if they have a little more blue here, and I'm gonna just Fatal Push the Ledger Shredder. Just gonna Fatal Push the Ledger Shredder. We're gonna gain 4 anyway. Doesn't appear that they do have more blue. I could have gotten the Grief. I think the Grief is just more manageable. It's a 3/2. The Ledger Shredder could get out of hand. My opponent's only got 1 card in hand, so you can make an argument, oh, okay, that's not like too scary here. We're going to play Cabal Coffers. We're going to take a draw with Maze Mind Tone. I'm going to play a Murderous Rider down. Nice. Double Grief. Mono red to mono black. A little bit, yeah. A little bit. That's a cool card. Got a lot of draws this turn. Let's game 4. Nice. Let's make some mana here. Let's play a Relic, and let's draw with said Relic. Actually, let's not. Let's go nuclear on a Grief here. And if they have that trick again, then the Relic eats the graveyard. I like this play. All right, game 10, unless they bolt it. And then we'll just have Relic to dance on our opponent's face here. Exactly that. Dance. Dance party. Ooh, Fury's nasty. Fury's a nasty one. All right, we'll hit the F6 button. And for 3. Going to 24. Maybe they have a spot removal. All right, let's draw with the Relic. Let's start there. I kind of want to get him off some of the red. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think I have a turn here to kind of just you know, do whatever. That was a Stone Rain. That was cool. All right, Maze Mind Tome. Draw with Maze Mind Tome. Hit something cool. That works. Spew out mana. Swift End Fury. Have 6 mana. Double Fury or double Murderous Rider. Whee! All right, that looks like a cool turn. Now I have the blockers. Check that out. Opponents just don't like it when we do 10 things a turn. Concession. All right. Graveyard, huh? Graveyard creatures were pretty well suited. Probably just going to send this back. I would typically do Inquisitions in instead of Thoughtseizes, but my opponent has Grief and they also have the Furies. So we're gonna stick with the Thoughtseize, hit the submit button, blow them up with all of the removal we have, and see if we can snag ourselves a 4-1 here, or we'll be going to game number 3. I'm gonna keep this against my better judgment. There's an Urborg 3 deep here. My opponent's conceded 2 cards, going to 5. I like a Damnation. That's the main reason I kept it. But they could have like 3 Griefs and I would die. So Tome is such a nice card. Usually we don't want to spend 2 mana to draw. Oh yeah, we have so much mana. Doesn't matter, right? Watery Grave shocks it in. What do we got? Grief. Here we go. They're going to do the Undying trick. And I'm going to have a Grief to kill. They're going to probably take the Relic. They might not even care. All right, 2 cards. Which ones do you want? 4/3 Grief. We just find 1 March and my opponent's dead. Because we just pitch black cards because they're going to take Relic, right? Absolutely. 100%. Takes the Damnation and the Karn. I disagree with both of those takes. I don't want to play this, but I want to hold this because I have this. All right. Information for you, opponent. There you go. Get rid of that. Opponent's got 1 card. They got a 4/3 Grief. We just got to get ourselves to Invoke Despair. We'll get there. I promise. I promise we'll get there. We're making our way up. This Field of Ruin, it would unlock red for my opponent potentially. I kind of like the idea of it though, because it helps the Coffers. I am going to draw with this Relic right now. This game's coming down to this Grief killing me. Let's play Field of Ruin and pass turn. I really want to hit this Watery Grave. Maybe I'll hit it in second main so they can't dash a monkey in and kind of like, hey, if you got that monkey, put it into play for me. Make it look like a mistake. Oh. I don't have a stop on that point. All right, whatever. Still going to Damnation, or Field and then Damnation here. Going to 6. I got rid of the Graveyard. The Abandoned Mire's not as strong. Okay. They play a creature, we got the Invoke Despair. If they don't, I'm drawing some cards. No blue mana either for my opponent. Feeling good for us. We'll fetch. Going to 6 is a little bit scary, but drawing cards is always welcome. Nice. Okay. Karn plus Wormcoil Engine should be the game over. Apparently all I draw is Bloodstained Mires. It's a Wormcoil Engine. Bloop. The one time Sundering Titan doesn't look very good. My opponent's got a Swamp. By the way, if you ever play one of these Grief Ephemerate or Graveyard decks, try to keep at least 2 lands if you can. Going all in on that Grief usually puts you at a very high risk of losing that game because there's a lot of removal sitting in Modern right now. 4/1. Solid with the black Coffers here. Discards, Maze Mind Tomes. You got it going here. Never got to run the Sands of Delirium, but we were going to grab it one time, so we'll keep it around for a little bit. This list has been doing great. I've been knocking out 4/1s like it's cake. I think it's cake. Usually I slip a little bit and lose one, and I'll chalk that up to a little bit of practice is all I need, and then we'll be cranking out these 5-0s, no problem. List is good. Feels good. It's my recommendation right now. If you're struggling with Red Prison and have the ability to get this, this could be your pivot deck. It seems to kind of go over the top, which is needed, but it has the right type of interaction for the creatures that are out there. Plays enough damnations too. Board wipes are big need. Big need.